Hey everyone, welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Archer, and we have the latest on federal cannabis policy and a few state-level surprises to unpack.
And I'm Riley. If you have questions as we go, drop them at stockalpha.ai. We'll try to answer what we can.
Quick housekeeping. US markets were closed on Saturday, July 18th, so traders are passing headlines heading into the long weekend, with markets set to reopen on Monday, July 20th.
Right, and the big story is that federal momentum is back front and center. We saw renewed rescheduling chatter from the DEA hearing, and Senate Democrats reintroduced a full legalization bill.
So, let's break that down. The administrative track, the DEA hearing, included testimony that could support moving cannabis out of Schedule 1 towards Schedule 3. That's not just legal trivia. Moving to Schedule 3 would lower some regulatory hurdles, make research easier, and could loosen banking constraints over time.
Exactly. And on the legislative side, Senate Democrats put the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act back on the table. Essentially a proposal to remove cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act and create a federal regulatory framework. Two tracks working in parallel makes change more plausible, even if timing stays uncertain. We should flag the legal pushback, though. A pharmaceutical firm and a drug testing trade group filed to block any rescheduling while litigation runs. That creates real short-term uncertainty. You can expect episodic headlines that move sentiment, even if policy ultimately advances.
Right. Traders heading into Monday, July 20th will be passing those filings carefully. Because if courts put a pause on administrative action, it stretches timelines and keeps volatility elevated.
Interesting.
On the state front, there are a couple of notable developments. A California judge said the state can tweak cannabis law without going back to voters. That gives regulators more flexibility to adjust taxes and rules for licensed businesses.
And San Francisco approved a cannabis cafe ordinance that allows on-site consumption with food and entertainment, a new retail format that could be an incremental demand driver in mature markets. It's a fun visual, but it's also practical for licensed operators.
By contrast, Arkansas reported a modest sales pullback. Sales in the first half of 2026 were down about 2.5% versus the first half of 2025, at $140.3 million. That looks like a normalization after a strong year in 2025. So what should listeners watch? First, the DEA docket and any court filings. Those set the administrative timetable. Second, the pace of congressional debate if the Senate bill gains traction. And third, state rollouts and regulatory implementation, because local changes can hit revenues quickly.
Also keep an eye on sector ETFs and big operators for commentary. For example, U.S. cannabis ETFs like AdvisorShares Pure U.S. Cannabis ETF, and companies such as Trulieve, Green Thumb Industries, Curaleaf, and Tilray. Analysts will be parsing their guidance and timing notes if rescheduling looks more likely.
I mean, when you look at the data, the core ways federal change would matter are straightforward. Tax treatment, banking access, research, and the ability to move product across state lines under a federal framework, all of which could lift margins and valuation multiples over time.
Yeah, that's a good point. But remember, litigation and state-level demand softness mean the path is bumpy. Momentum exists, but it could be incremental and punctuated by headline risk.
Quick takeaways then. Federal momentum is real, with both administrative and legislative threads. Legal challenges and localized demand dips keep timing and impact uncertain. And state-level wins, like the San Francisco cafes and California's greater regulatory flexibility, can drive immediate opportunities for operators.
Exactly. Be selective and patient. This is analysis for informational purposes only, not investment advice. Analysts note these developments could matter materially, but outcomes and timing remain unclear.
Got questions? We'd love to hear from you. Head over to stockalpha.ai, where you can ask us anything and we'll answer live. And while you're there, check out more market content.